welcome to you all. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you to the wonderful team of the FTCC for making this happen, particularly Arnaud, Florian, and Kun Patchery. We want to thank also, before we go further, the sponsor of this event, which is Hypertrade, a very fast-growing firm in consulting, in fact, who delivers sales and retail solutions since 2005 in the Middle East and in Asia. And motivation to them is very important, so they've made this event possible. Why we are talking today about motivation is because I found out when I do engagement surveys in companies that if the motivation level in a company on average is, say, 60%, then there will be departments where motivation will be lower, 40%. And there will also be departments where the motivation is higher, like, say, 80%. So then I wanted to establish why clearly, and I tracked the appreciation of managers of those departments by the staff. What did I find? Can you guess? That in this department, for example, the appreciation of the department manager was so low. And as an effect, the motivation to work for the company was low also. And in this case, the appreciation of the manager was so good, and the motivation of the people in the department to work for the company was great. So the correlation, and I've seen that many times, between the ability of the manager to manage properly and motivate the staff and the motivation of the staff is very clear. So then how can we help managers motivate their staff? With simple action. That's our focus today, in fact. So our objective is that you walk out of the room with a few ideas that you've liked in what we will talk about, and that you can activate right now, today, to elevate further the motivation of your employees and also your own motivation. All right? And I'd like to ask with a question, in fact. What is motivating consistently people, in your opinion? What comes to mind? Happiness? Money. Money. Yeah, we've got two winners here. Money, people say, that is motivating consistently. Now, let's check who this morning was motivated out of bed because you're going to be paid a salary today. Nobody, So this morning when you woke up, money did not motivate you to wake up and go to work, no? And another question, just to check, how many days after you receive a salary increase or a bonus, big one, are you happy and thinking about it and feeling good and having energy? Who says 1 month? Nobody. Who says 1 week? We've got one person for 1 week. Who says like 3 days or less? Well, and I guess, so you see, money is not consistently motivated. It's just like sugar. It's in the moment. You get an effect. So if we meet managers who say, if we take good care of our people money-wise, salary-wise, pay salary on time, it's okay, especially with blue-collar worker. I think they missed the boat. So what else can we do? Maybe we can double-check with you. So I'd like to play a game with you. And you imagine I am your manager. And I want you to reach a new target. You are already so busy, have so much to do. And I want you to work extra hard to deliver one more target. But if you do, I give you $1,000. I'm not sure you will say yes, because work-life balance already so. So I have 3 ways to talk to you to try and motivate you. The first pitch is to tell you, okay, think about that $1,000 or 10,000 baht or 3,000 baht. You get it. You can buy that nice things you've been wanting for some time. How does it feel? Or I can tell you something different. I can choose to tell you, okay, think about those $1,000. You get them, you put them in the bank account. And it stays there, you save. For rainy days, you have your $1,000 at the bank, you save. Or, I can tell you, last pitch is think about that $1,000. Maybe not so much for you, but it's the way the company says thank you to you. It's the way the company tells you you matter to us and what you do is of importance. So I'd like to hear from you which speech you would prefer me to speak to you. Who would vote for the number one? $1,000? Think about how you're going to spend the money. Any customer for this one? There is no good and bad, by the way, as long as it works. No customer for number one. Customer for number two. Savings. Do we have? So, wow, full success. Huh? You are like everybody. The statistics on this game show very few people choose number one and number two speech, which are about money and security. People almost all want the speech number three, which is about self-esteem. This bonus means you're good and the company values you. So one more proof that with money, you will not motivate your people long time. It's just like sugar. It melts very fast, all right? And I'd like to invite you to another game. I'm still your boss just for the next game. Bear with me. And this time, I want to promote you to a big position. It's all good, except you will work even harder. And I have 3 ways to motivate you to say yes and work very hard. So the first one is to tell you, okay, this job is so important for the company. Think about it. You take it, well, you have a job for life because the company will always need somebody in that job. The second is you take that job. Think about how people will look up to you. Everybody will watch what you will be doing, will admire you. You'll have high visibility. And number 3, can you guess? That job is so important. It's central. You see everything that's happening in the company. That is the best place to learn about the company. Clear? So what I should tell you if I would like you to accept the job? What do you prefer? Who buys number 1 speech? Again, no good and bad. Everything is okay. Any customer for number 1 speech about the security? Any customer for number 2 about the visibility? Yes. Right. We have a few. Ooh, and more and more and more. And then let's raise the hands for the last one. Who? I guess it's everyone else. Wow. So we have a big majority for number 3. And, well, that's always the same, in fact. Security, not many people respond to that. Self-esteem, which in the previous game was the winner, here is defeated by learning. Majority of people find it even more attractive to take a job for learning than for the faith they get. And this has been done with thousands of people all over the world, these statistics, in fact. So what does it tell us as managers? If we summarize, we've established that money kick out of the picture for long-term motivation, totally unsuitable. Security, pretty weak, can work for some time for some of us, but not a long time. Then we've got self-esteem, powerful. And we've got learning, even more powerful on the basis of this game. And where does this come from? In fact, it comes from Maslow basic needs and more. You will recognize beyond the physiological needs and money, that's money at the work, security or safety, job security. And you remember, then we have relationships, belonging, love, being part of a group. And then we've got self-esteem, faith, achievement, getting recognition, status. And then there is learning, self-actualization, they say. And then we've got beauty, harmony, that was added by later psychologists after Maslow. And that's for artists, particularly, and some of us. and help others. In fact, that was also a later addition to the initial work of Maslow. So here we've got 7 drivers of people energy, and motivation is all about creating more energy in people, right? So what can we do with this as managers? At the bottom, we've got like hygiene factors. That's must do. Cannot have money, not enough. Money must be perceived as fair. Otherwise, no motivation is possible. That's the basic. Money must be perceived as fair. Not necessarily fair, but perceived as fair. Safety, job security. Okay, if we think maybe tonight we are fired, forget about motivating us. So then what can we do with all of that in the workplace? Quite a lot. Before we find out, I just want to add one more input, and that will be finished for the theory part of the workshop. It's from neuro-science, science of the brain, in fact. That's data from Harvard Medical School, in fact, where they put scanners on people's head and then have people respond to many situations. Conversation with actors or movies or whatever, and they look at what's happening in the brain and what energy is generated in the brain. Energy in the brain can be electromagnetical, chemical, or electrical, in fact. So they look at that, and they found out that five things create a lot of energy in people's brain, and that energy in the brain is transformed into energy in the body that people invest for positive action or for negative actions. The first one they find is status, self-esteem. When you, me, we get praise or we get somebody to criticize us, a lot's going on in the brain, and we will have a lot of energy either to fight or to enjoy. Right? That's the first thing, status. The second thing is certainty, security. They find that it's a very powerful thing. For example, sometimes you and me, we go to bed, we are so physically tired, and we can't sleep because there is this thing in our head turning, a problem that we cannot solve, and we cannot sleep. Is that correct? That's the thing. It's the brain working to enhance our certainty. We will have a solution for our problem. We cannot control, in fact. So this is powerful. It means when people don't have security anymore or safety, forget about motivating them. And when people have lost faith, forget about motivating them. Clear? So we want to be sensitive to those 2 factors. Another one is autonomy or freedom. Did you ever have micromanaging managers? Did you have a boss that was looking at all the details and criticizing a lot what you were doing? Nobody? You're so lucky. It happened to me. So, okay, I don't skip the thing because we love to have freedom. We love to make our own things, to have initiatives, in fact, to have the ability to have initiative. And if our boss doesn't allow us space, we're miserable. We have no energy. In fact, we will not be the best we can be. So that they found also is very important. That's why people who fight for freedom have so much power. Think about like Mandela or others, jailed for so long, but having that energy inside, that motivation to keep fighting for that freedom, in fact. And one more is relationships, same like Maslow. And the last one is about fairness and justice, and this is actually a very powerful one. Think about you are a politician, for example. You want to go to parliament. So you're new into the business of politics. You don't have supporters. What do? Best way to get some people to go in the street to shout your name and vote for Mr. X. What do you do in Thailand? Pai talat, go to the market and speak with people and, for example, say, "Oh, Tom, your life is so tough. No good as this government, no good. They don't respect you. You know they don't respect you. What they do to you is not acceptable." Look at knowing, and you build on dissatisfaction that people are not treated fairly by the other politician, and that, of course, you will bring fairness back to them. and then people go with the banners and shout your name in the street. Does this make sense? Anybody tried already? Okay, next Saturday, yeah? Give it a try, yeah? Well, but be aware that then you go into politics, so all right, so this is very, very powerful, giving to people a sense of fairness. It's absolutely necessary if you want to motivate them. It's not enough necessarily to motivate them to do great things, but if it's not there, there is no chance we motivate people. So we want to think our subordinates. Do they perceive that the company, the environment is fair to them or not? If yes, okay. If no, we have a problem, huh? So we need to sort this out before we motivate people. Does this make sense? Yeah? So now let's try something. You're going to move around the room. No, we try something. It's you try and remember one time in your life where you felt absolutely happy, super energized, super motivated, radiating energy. One of the many times. Just choose one. Everybody has it? That time where you felt so good, so full of energy. Yes? You have it? So now the game is find out what was behind. Was it a moment where you felt very proud of yourself? Or was it a moment where you felt, now I'm safe? Like say you get a degree from university and you feel, finally, now I'm safe, I have a title. Or was it over there freedom, like, wow, you had freedom suddenly and could do something new? Or was it over there a moment with people you love, a moment to a relationship? Or was it over there fairness? Or what do we have over there? We have beauty or harmony. Or was it helping others? Moment where you felt so good helping others? Or was it a moment where you learned a lot? Can you decide? Choose. Maybe it's one or two or three at the same time. Okay? And then move to the part of the room where you have those things. Okay, thanks very much for playing the game. So, wow, we have the beauty of diversity here. So, where is the biggest group? I think it's relationship, isn't it?
Near the pastry.
Near the pastry, also enjoy together. Wow, it will be tough to have them come back to the table. I see a challenge. Wow. So let's hear from them. What type of thing at work can demotivate you very much? What are the things at work that your manager may do that will upset you a lot? Sophie, shall we hear from you?
Well, if I have to do something really on my own, and there is very little interaction or very little teamwork, and it just means, but it doesn't even matter whether you go to office, you can even do it anywhere because there is no interaction.
No interaction, you don't blossom. So clear, right? Thanks very much, Sophie. How about your group? What would be some things at work that would upset you a lot? You would lose your energy, your motivation. Kunkruk? Yes, Kunkruk.
When I will lose my motivation is when the boss will say, okay, this is what you have to do. So you have no freedom to think, okay, this is everything is planned for you to do. So you just do it.
You just do it. And then คุณครึกก็ไม่สบายไม่ชอบไม่ happy go home กลับบ้านนะ okay thank you very much คุณครึก how about you here what would be things at work that would put you off big time no more energy no wish to do the best you can who'd like to yes you want to say
Zero recognition.
no recognition right no recognition okay clear thanks very much Etienne. Thanks a lot. How about this group is helping others? So what would upset you or you would lose your motivation at work?
I would say if in my environment I would have people looking down on others and not trying to look at the way to develop people. that would be one thing that demotivates me.
So people in your environment that don't make efforts to develop others, that would demotivate you. Wow, okay, so interesting. Thank you very much for sharing. So in line, let's go here, learning. Okay, you are hidden, they are studying. So what would be type of thing at work that would upset you?
No new things or...
No new thing, right? No newness. Routine, come job, routine.
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay. It's okay for the routine, but have to get some things new. Okay, right. Thank you very much, Kunsu Pasit. Thanks a lot. All right. Well, I suggest you give yourself a big round of applause. It's so interesting to see that. Indeed. So the next question is, where are your subordinates in this? Where would they be in this room? Your subordinates? Or the people you work with, or your family, your children maybe. Where would they be in this room? Do you have a clue? And if you don't, how much do you want to know? So, good luck to find this out. And now we're going to move to very practical tips that you can use to motivate, and they work with everybody, any sensitivity. Okay? Thank you again, and thanks for the game. So I have another question for you. If you don't want questions at workshops, don't go when the coach is speaking, because coach, we ask questions for our life. So the question to you is, who in your life can kind of ask you almost anything? Or rather, who can ask your help for almost anything, and you will try to do it for them? Children, yes, children. Who else? Your family. Everybody in your family? Tukon. Oh, good family. Huh? Oh, so lucky. And who else?
Our team.
Oh, good team. Good team around the table. Huh? And why? Why they can ask you almost anything, and you will try to do it for them? Love, yeah. Trust, yeah. Belief and trust, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Sorry? They would do the same, right? And maybe they did the same for you before, right? Sorry? Learning, opportunity to learn, yeah. Oh, thanks, you connecting the dots very, very well. Thanks for that. So what is it all about? We will do the best we can, move out of our safe zone, maybe for those people who, if I summarize what you said, is who care for you, who have cared for you visibly for a long time, right? It's like you really care for each other. Then and then you, from that you build trust and you have love, and so it's a lot about caring visibly, huh? And for managers, it's really important to remember this. Do our subordinates see that we care for them? We may care. If they don't see, will they do much to help us? Probably not. So a very basic and important thing is caring is good. Caring visibly is much better for a manager who wants his or her subordinate to go the extra mile and help. You know, this guru of the 20th century for management, Peter Drucker, said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it's particularly important for new expats in Thailand to get this. Do we have new expats, like people who joined Thailand less than 3 months ago today? We do, yeah. So keep that in mind in Thailand. And you know already, right? Yeah, it's very important. In Thailand, relationships are very important, and that's a beautiful part of life in Thailand. So people want to know how much you care before they will care how much you know. Huh? So relationships for expats in Thailand are so important. Huh? Not just in Thailand, by the way. So this point is really care and show it all the time. Huh? If we don't do that, we miss big time on the ability to motivate our subordinates. And that's tough discipline. Huh? Okay. Now, we move to, from a very loving topic to a very brutal subject. I need you to decide between those two gentlemen who you will fire. So we've got the Italian guy, Riccardo Muti, conductor, used to be conductor of La Scala in Milano, which is the most famous opera house in the world. And we've got Herbert von Karajan, who used to be the conductor, orchestra conductor of the most famous orchestra in the world. Now I will show you how they perform on video, and you will need to decide which one you fire in the moment. Huh? So that's tough, but you are up to it. And let me bring you some evidence. Riccardo Muti. And now Herbert von Karajan. Look very closely. Is anybody looking at him? Is he looking at anybody? Right, so decision time. So, who would decide to fire number one? So, number one is Riccardo Muti, the Italian one, the first one to play for you. You remember his picture? Who will fire this gentleman? 1, 2, 3, 4. So everybody is firing this one, right? Really? Yeah. Let's see if it makes sense. I will direct you to clap the Italian style and the German style. Let's see what will perform, work out best. Are you ready to clap? So I will first Italian style, like the first guy that only 4 people want to fire. You ready? Wow, I think he's got better orchestras. Huh? But that was the first try. Let's go again. Okay. Just one clap. Third time will be perfect. Wow, cool. Oh, yeah. So now German style. I want you to do one clap. Okay, so. Okay, what's wrong with me? Second attempt, you do one clap. Huh? Oh, no good. So I understand why you fire the number 2. Huh? No precise. Huh? Well, and the history has it that this guy was fired. In Italy, trade unions are powerful. And what happened is at La Scala, this opera house, one day he received a letter signed by the 700 employees of La Scala, saying, "Dear Maestro, you are a great conductor. Please resign. We don't like to be treated like robots." In Italy, gone. Boom, say them, bye. Ciao. Gone, finish. The other guy is the only German guy only multi-millionaire in the music industry, in the classical music industry. This guy has yachts and castles, private jets and luxury cars. It's extremely rich. The only one. All the others have nice suits too, but not so rich. Not so rich. Good for self-esteem, not good for the money as his job. Except for this guy. And why? When he started, long time ago actually, and he was like this.
So, meine Herren, das ist die letzte Probe vor der Grammophonaufnahme, die wir morgen machen. Bitte, darf ich noch einmal die Stellen durchgehen, die also besonders wichtig für die Atmosphäre des Stückes sind? Können wir bei Beginn anfangen? Das ganze Stück fängt doch in der ganzen... Lassen Sie sich Zeit, spüren Sie, bis die Kontrabässe anfangen und dann den Akzent langsam hereindrücken und nicht hinschlagen, bitte. Warten Sie es ab, atmen Sie lang. Aber etwas mehr Pause.
What is happening is this guy is having the musician play the first note of the symphony, and then he just interrupted them, and he's going to talk 2 minutes about how they did not play the first note well. You see? And on and on and on. So that's to micromanagement, the ultimate. Huh? They have to play 45 minutes, they just play one note, and 2 minutes of speech. Now they played again the first note, another speech for 2 minutes. And so at the beginning of his career, he was the maximum micromanager. And that led him to be reasonably good. He was on par with many of his colleagues, in fact, like Riccardo Muti. So, okay. Still, with micromanagement like this, you can reach a certain level in the music industry. But then something happened that set him on for huge success. He learned to ride the horse. Who rides the horse here? Okay. And one day, his trainer told him, okay, tomorrow you will learn how to jump over obstacle with your horse. And this guy, Karajan, was petrified. He thought, wow, how can I lift this big 1-ton mass animal over an obstacle? He didn't sleep that night. Next morning, he goes to the horse riding area. And okay, he puts himself on the horse, but he was paralyzed with fear, could not do anything. So the horse walks as usual towards the area to jump, and then aligns itself with the obstacle, and then starts to run. Karajan is paralyzed on the horse. What happens next, do you think? In fact, the horse just jumped beautifully with Karajan, the conductor, petrified. And so he thought, oh my God, my horse can do it all by itself. I don't need to do anything, and it happens. Wow. And I was so afraid. And he thought, wow, could it be the same with my orchestra? Actually, that even if I do nothing, they play beautifully? I want to try. He tried. And they played 97% beautifully without him doing anything. You see? And so he thought, wow, now my job has become much easier. I just need to manage 2 to 3% to perfection. Because he realized that the musicians, when they come to play, they want to play well. They want to do a good job. It's like you're going to go to your company later on. You want to have a good day and do a good job, right? Your boss doesn't have to assume that you're not having good intention. Those musicians, they want to make beauty. Just he never let them free to do what they wanted. So he shifted his job description from micromanager to fully empowering, and that's why he directed as you've seen him. And then people were surprised in the musical industry. one journalist in Madrid asked him, "Oh, maestro, why don't you give precise indication to your orchestra like your colleagues?" And he said, "Because that would be the worst damage I could do to my orchestra. Then they would not listen to each other." So this is the last concert of Karajan. He is very sick, very old, with this lady singer, Jessie Norman. And you will see he's so old and sick, he cannot move. He can almost paralyzed. You see? Like 90 plus. Cannot move properly his arms. So, because it was like anticipated as his last concert, all the journalists, music specialists of the world went to that concert. And all of them, the next day in the media, TV, everywhere, they said that concert was not from earth, it was from heaven. So what does it tell us? We come back to what that Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said, amongst other things. A hallmark of a great leader is that when he's gone, people say, "We did it ourselves." So empowering is so important to motivate our people. You heard from the group who is thinking autonomy and freedom is so important that they want to be empowered. And actually, a study was done about about those senior executives, like number 2 in big companies, groomed to be number 1. And the survey asks them, "Ladies, gentlemen, why do you stay number 2 in your company when you get headhunted every day, asking you to be number 1 in another company?" And they said 3 things, actually. The first thing they said is, "I love my colleagues. We are family here." The second thing is, "I love my job. I love what I do." And the third thing is, "I can do my things. I can take my initiatives. I can try new things here." So that third thing is so important. You remember when you taught your kids to ride the bicycle? Yes? Yes? And one day you decided to stop holding their shoulder, right? And how did you feel then? Scared, right? But you did it, huh? and you knew that 50% chances were they were going to fall on the floor and scratch and bleed a bit, no? But you still did it, huh? And are you doing that with your subordinates as well? Are you letting go at calculated risks? And letting go further at calculated risk is always a powerful thing to motivate people. I have another question for you. Coach talk. So imagine you are 100-year-old. Very, very old. Which one would you like to be? No, it's not a real question. It's just, so you're 100-year-old and a much younger person in your family comes and tell you, pick up, or grandpa, grandma, I'm kind of a bit lost with my life, not too sure how to lead a good life, to have a great life. What advice do you have for me to have a great life, lead a great life? Yeah? So think about what you would say. You are 100-year-old, so wise, so experienced. You've seen it all. And a young person like your age basically comes to you then and asks you advice. What would you say?
Say again, we might be deaf a bit.
Yes. Yes, say again. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? And what else? They would shout to you. What else? Not easy. Huh? So the good thing is, I guess you have a couple of ideas. And the idea is, this advice you would give, are you actually leveraging it? Are you applying it to yourself now? Say you said, spend time with your family. Are you doing that? Or you said, do the job you love. Are you doing that? Huh? This advice you would give as a 100 euro per person, are you doing it for yourself? Question mark. Huh? What they said, we know because in the US they did a survey and they asked the real 100-year-old person who could hear what they would say as an advice. And they said first thing is be happy now. Be happy now, huh? Every day at a time. Huh? And the second thing was enjoy your time with those you love, your family, your friends. Enjoy. Huh? And again, when you're 100-year-old, you don't have many friends on Facebook, and the others are dead. Huh? So it's kind of quite obvious. Huh? But are we spending the time we should with our families, those we love, our friends? Huh? And the last thing is try your dreams. And they say, yeah, in different words, huh? They all say the same. Try your dreams. You may fail. But failure is so much better than regretting not having tried. Living with the regret that, oh, I wanted to tell that girl I love her, I didn't, and this bad boy married her and gave her a bad life. It's horrible. Huh? Or saying, oh, I wanted to do this tandem skydiving in New Zealand, and I thought, oh, it's just a little bit too expensive, but the landscape was beautiful. I never got to go to New Zealand since, and I regret it. That's bad. Try your dream. You may fail. That's way better than regretting not trying. Does this make sense to you? Try your dreams. So how do we go about that? I just would like to have one more video. Some people may cry, so we have to decide together. Do we show the video or do we skip the video? Little bit emotional, just little. Show. Oh, okay.
I'm Emmanuel. I'm 17 years of age and I live in Australia, originally from Iraq. My story is that I was born in the middle of a war zone. At boarding school, I sing every day, every night. My mates say, you know, what are you singing, mate? Just shush, we're trying to concentrate here, so, yeah. It was like looking at an angel when Mum, Moira Kelly, walked through the orphanage door. She brought us both to Australia for surgery originally. And then sort of Mum fell in love with both of us.
So what are you going to sing?
I'm going to sing Imagine by John Lennon.
Beautiful. Whoa.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Yahoo! Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to live or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
Whoa, man.
I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
I don't think I've ever been moved as much as I was by that performance. That was magnificent. Your courage, your bravery was unbelievable. Thank you.
Right, so imagine you have a dream. And what can you do to help make them happen? No? And what can be a first easy step to go for that dream? Maybe not this year you can make the dream happen, but maybe this year you can take a first step to make this happen, right? So that's another tip. Help go for a dream or go for your dream, or at least take the first step to the journey. And that should be a good motivator factor. Are you ready for another question now? We'll go from emotional to a left brain now. So the question is, well, not fully left brain. Who really listens to you in your life? Who really listens to you? Nobody? I usually hear nobody, yeah? Nobody, yeah? And if you have to choose a second person that is best listening to you, who would that be? Not that I want to know, but I just want you to know. And what is it that they do when they really listen to you? What is it? Can you imagine again? Sorry, I heard that's a good question. They ask questions, yeah. What else?
They don't talk.
Absolutely. And what if that was the most important thing? They don't talk. They don't interrupt. They don't judge. And even after we stop speaking, they probably give us a little extra time, like maybe 2-3 seconds, right? Just in case we have something more to say. Because our brain has a momentum and we're saying something, and maybe 3 seconds later we've got another drop of thought to share. Yeah. When are we catching ourselves doing just that with people around us? When are we catching ourselves thinking, yeah, I know he's going to what he's going to tell me, but anyway, the guy doesn't know this and is so inexperienced. I know better, so I'll tell him right now what he should know. How often do we interrupt people? When we are interrupted by somebody, thanks for not doing it, we're very upset now. Why? Because this is so disrespectful, right? Basically, the other person interrupting is deciding they have something more worthwhile to share than what we are saying. Oh, so judgmental. Bad, huh? Very, very bad, right? So interrupting, wow, big motivation killer. Huh? It hits on many targets, hitting self-respect, hitting autonomy, freedom, hitting relationship, hitting helping others. Absolute bad. No? So here are a few tips that we're going to practice for fun together. Like Rob said, keep silent first thing, and at least 3 seconds after people have told you what they want to tell you, just in case they would have something to add, and never interrupt. The second thing is focus totally, right? There is so much more than the words in what people tell you, right? So much in the tone and in the body language. So much to catch, fascinating. Get it all. Not be not judgmental, and like Cindy said, right? And then occasionally paraphrase, repeat with your own word what you've heard, to just prove I listened to you. You see, because I'm able to summarize what you told me. People feel good about that. Quite simple, very powerful. And like you said, ask clarifying questions, open-ended, easy. Like, can you tell me more? Anything else? Most basic possible question. And maybe at the end summarize. Okay, Okay, so why we are talking about listening is because I believe it's a very powerful way, simple way to motivate people who talk to you. So we're going to try it out. If you don't mind, I'd like to invite you to ask your neighbor, how do you feel when somebody really listens to you? And then you will just listen what is the answer and practice those very simple tips to give a chance to the person to tell you more and more and more about the feelings when people listen. To be a great listener is to elicit the best thinking from the other person, to help through listening the other person articulate their thoughts with the most clarity and contribute more and more value. So as a senior leader, it's very important to have this talent of listening with the intention to help people communicate to you at their best, okay? And this comes over the years of experience, and it starts with those very basic rules. The more we do that, the more people love to talk to us, and the more they make efforts to give us the best of their thinking, and the more they are motivated. So listening really, simple as it is a very powerful motivation driver. It activates many of those drivers we talked about. Do we have a deal here? Can we do more of that? Cool. Next question. Are you ready? Oh, it's easy. This one is easy. Relax. We're trying to, starting to decline, so it's becoming easier and easier. And this one is, who was your best boss so far? And we want names. No, we don't want names. Who was your best boss so far? So what more are they doing? Simple things. Yes, Luca.
It was reachable. This means that he was next to me, not above me. Giving advice, it was an exchange. A two-way flow in the information.
And what was the benefit for you then of this behavior as a boss?
Capability to express myself.
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah.
And also feel supported.
Feel supported and capability to express yourself. And so important. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Luc. So it's all about helping you increase your professional value. That's the thing. Common to all. And yes, it's selfish, of course, but we are all selfish, right? We have a life. So we at the root, the best boss for us, logically, is the one who increases our professional value the most. Normal, in whichever way they do that. It all boils down to that. And then are we doing that ourselves as a boss? Can we do more of that? And so it's a lot about helping our subordinates learn and acknowledge they are learning. By the way, it's such a powerful retention factor for a company to be perceived by the employees as a learning environment. You know, I love to work for company XYZ because I am learning there. People will consider less favorably offers from outside if they feel they are learning a lot in the company. Does this make sense? Yeah, it does. So make your team a talent factory. Be a talent producer, in fact. And then your people will grow and be happy and make you happy, and it's a win-win situation. And the simple tip is, ask your subordinates regularly, hey, let's sit down 2 minutes or 3 minutes today and just kind of recap your learning over the last months. Or just, okay, let's go grab a coffee together and tell me what you've learned at our company in the last months. So simple. And the first time you ask the question, people will tell you, like, aray. It's a very difficult question, but then months later, whatever the failure first happened, you ask the question again. Then, okay, they'll get it. Oh, there is a pattern starting here. And third month, again, what have you learned while you've been working in this position in the last months? And then you anchor the belief that they are part of a learning environment, and that's the best that can happen to them in career. We said before it's way better than self-esteem and even money, and money. Okay, so that's easy. Yeah, maybe you can start today, or maybe you're doing it already. Yeah, create a learning environment. That's number 5, and I'd like to tell you a story about children. A real story in California. And there is no emotion in this one. It's very easy. Yeah. So it's professors from Harvard University. They fly over to California to a primary school. So kids are like 7 or 8 years old, small kids. And it's the first day of the year in September. They start school year in September. And the professors of Harvard have a test about academic potential, ability to learn well at school, that they give to the children, in fact, and they ask the children complete the test, and tomorrow we will come back and we will tell you, children, who have the most ability to learn well at school. So children do the test, professors from Harvard take back the test, go to their hotel. Next morning, they show up at school, and they tell the teachers first, okay, so children A, B, C, D, E have outstanding academic potential. They should learn brilliantly at school. And then they bring in the children and tell, oh, you children, you're so lucky, A, B, C, D, E. You're going to work and learn very well at school. And then they fly back to Boston. They go back to Harvard. And they come June, 9 months after, at the end of the year, and check the result of the children. And what do they find is here, in fact. You see those 5 children, A, B, C, D, E, the results at school improve like crazy. And where's the catch? The catch is that when the professors went back to their hotel in September with the test written by the children, they just throw the test in the rubbish bin. They don't look. And they choose A, B, C, D, E at random on the list to check their assumption that if you tell someone, you know what, I think you can do more. I think you can do better. I think you've not shown your full potential yet. I think you can fly higher. Then it happens. So what we are seeing here is that just normal children who have been told can do better, and then they do. And actually, the statistic also show that 2 more children, F and G, had also improved a lot. And those were the really talented kids, in fact. So I didn't portray them, but it's very important because it confirms the validity of the statistical survey they did, in fact. So how often are we telling people, you know, I think you did a great job today because this and that and that and that, and you know what, tomorrow or next time, I think you can do even better. How often are we telling your people, you know, good job this year, good result, and you know what, I trust that next year you can take it to the next level. Sorry. When we don't do that, we miss big time. It costs just 1 sentence and sincerity and specificity in the feedback we give, of course, to build trust. And then just let people know when we sincerely believe they can do better, that they can do better. And that is a simple tip to motivate people. There is a lot at stake for them. Self-esteem, first of all, learning also. Very powerful. So simple. So why not stretch our people and stretch ourselves as well? Most of these tips I'm sharing with you are valid for ourselves too. Right? And I just wanted to give you a couple more tips and allow time for Q&A. So we'll browse a bit quickly in those slides, and you can see them peacefully at your home and see some videos. The next tip I wanted to tell you is how about giving people a choice? So I will show you this Al Pacino, this video. And then we'll wrap up. We'll start to wrap up because he does many things to motivate a team of American football players that are big losers so far in the season. Today, as we watch the video, it's the end of the first half of the season. They lost all their matches. Now, if they lost the match today again, they're out of the league next year. They are relegated. And now it's halftime, They have 3 minutes break with the coach. They lost the first half of that match. If they don't do great in the second half of the match, they are out of the league. It's the last 3 minutes where the coach can do something to remotivate them. I'd love you watch it and you're thinking, what is he really doing that can possibly motivate people? Okay?
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I mean, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. Hell yeah. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. That's the team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?
It's their choice How often do we give a choice, maybe a petty one, to people around us versus we tell them what we think is best? Just give them a choice. It can be a bit insignificant, but at least, each time we give a choice. Or what do you want to do? Often executives tell me, how can I give more sense of empowerment to my subordinates? And so we look at what they are doing, how they delegate, and all that, and often they find out people don't quite get what they want them to do. And so then I say, okay, instead of explaining them and asking them, okay, did you understand, or was I clear, more polite, just ask them, okay, how do you want to do it? How will you do it? What's your preferred way to do it? Simple, give a choice. One more is about significance. And my question to you, I'm skipping a bit, you will have time to see that by yourself. The question to you is, when was the last time someone told you how important, how meaningful, how beautiful you are as a person, and how grateful they are that they know you? When was the last time? Valentine's Day, maybe 2 days ago. But if it's one a year, is that good enough? So what am I driving up here is we all look for significance so much, right? Towards the end of our life, we all want to say, well, our life mattered, our life was significant, made a difference, right? How often are we just telling people around us they matter to us, they are significant to us? And can we do more of that? Because if we do that, then something beautiful happens. And it's much more than the relationship is strengthened. It's we do the best possible thing we can to someone. So maybe you can consider walking out today and tell someone you meet how important they are to you, in fact. How about that? One more tip is take all opportunities to nurture togetherness. We've seen we have a big group of people into relationships here, and that works with all of us. We seldom love to be alone, so let's celebrate together and take all opportunities. Power of love, and it's not just because it's Valentine's Day, it's just because it's so important, and it boils back to our first tip on caring visibly, of course. Do we give love the space it should have in our life? If we don't, remember the old people saying, be with those you love, and make more space. More important than work, if I may say. And last one was about pride. Give pride to people. It matters so much that guys in your teams are proud to be in that team. Very proud. They come with so much more energy. If in the morning they're going to go to work with a team that they are proud of. So there again, easy. Let's not miss opportunities to hone pride in the people, to belong to the team we manage, in fact. And let's be justly proud of ourselves, too.
I look into the window of my mind, reflections of the fears I know I've left behind. I step out of the ordinary, I can feel my soul ascending. I'm on my way, can't stop me now, and you can do the same, yeah. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late to try. What have you done today?
So let's let her sing and just wrap up with the 11 tips that I shared with you today. There are more, of course, and you've got your own. And if we would share all the tips we have to motivate others, it would be wonderful. Just want to tell you, I have this website, the one2win.net, where you have many articles on motivation and leadership issues, cross-cultural management as well. Don't hesitate to go there. And also, I have the privilege of being a monthly columnist to The Nation. And so on every fourth Wednesday of the month, you will see a column where I write. And sometimes it touches on motivation. So you can have a look at the sixth page of the newspaper. And, okay. Thanks again to our gracious sponsor, Hypertrade. Thanks to you. Now is our time for Q&A, and I want to really give you a round of applause because you've been an awesome audience. It's been my privilege and pleasure to be with you. Thank you very much.
I look into the window of my mind, reflections of the fears I know left behind. I step out of the